The controversial truth about Apple making its best products worse on purpose. When it comes to hardware, the Apple products are tough to beat. They may lag behind the competition at times, but they always catch up in glorious ways. But considering the lineup of Apple products, are all of them using the hardware to the fullest potential? If Apple is making their products worse, then why? So, Apple is one of the most recognizable brand names in the world. Ever since the tech giant was founded by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak in 1976, they have been a staple of the tech industry, delivering great projects to hungry consumers. And even at times where Apple has lagged behind the competition in terms of technology, their marketing strategies have enabled them to build a cult of enthusiasts who give their products more leeway if ever they are late or a little disappointing. And while some have had issues with this brand of marketing, it has worked so well for Apple so far. So much to the point where they have been mocked and then copied by the competition. When Apple first launched, their focus was on the production of desktop computers. Even so, they were never quite able to beat the Bill Gates-helmed tech giant Microsoft. But then, as the years progressed, they started to diversify their product portfolio. Rather than focusing on desktop computers, they started to pioneer other key technological devices like the MacBook laptop, the iPad, and the iPhone. Now this is where Apple started to find real success. With their desktop computer game pushed to the side, they started to focus on making more portable and unique devices than ever before. The iPhone was a huge success. From its release in 2007 to now, there have been 12 iterations, with a 13th on the way. Rather than relying only on the iPhones though, Apple doubled up with the iPad. 3 years after the first iPhone, the first iPad was released. The product was intended to be a cross between laptops and smartphones. There have been several iterations since then and several product types. And bit by bit, the Apple ecosystem evolved. Apple's product line became more diverse than ever. We got other niche devices like AirPods and Apple Watches, and every single one of these devices was interconnected to another through the iCloud. Creating the Apple ecosystem is one of the best business decisions the company has ever made, because most consumers these days usually rely on about 3 or 4 technological devices. By having them all be Apple products, they make it difficult to break away from their company and buy that of their competitors. In any case, this brings us to the crux of the issue. Does Apple make its best products worse on purpose? Well, the reason a lot of tech enthusiasts think this way is that, even though there are significant hardware updates between various generations of Apple products, the software element is quite lacking. To explain this, why don't we make a case study of the iPad? The new iPad Pro comes with some pretty impressive hardware. These include Apple proprietary's M1 chip, which rivals that of other industry giants like Intel. The processor chip is very powerful and can enable some pretty crazy computerization techniques. However, when placed within the iPad, it falls way short of its potential. The apps on the iPad are, in a way, stunted. Even though they are very high quality, they still don't match up to the performance of their laptop and desktop counterparts. This can be particularly frustrating considering that the iPad definitely comes with some great hardware, and this attracts a lot of consumers. However, it isn't really practical to use an iPad to do serious work. And so this begs the question, if the hardware is available to make the iPad as good as some laptops, why does the software not take advantage of this? The only explanation we are left with is that Apple does this on purpose. As to why they do this on purpose, well, all we have to do is examine the ecosystem. Each different product in the Apple ecosystem has its unique uses. As such, Apple cannot afford to release an all-powerful product which will make some of the other products obsolete. Why have one Apple product when you could have 3? And so, Apple makes some products worse by making sure they can't perform certain functions, thereby making other Apple products a necessity. So there you have it, the controversial truth about Apple making their products worse. Although some might not agree with this line of thinking, it makes sense for Apple and their ecosystem. To learn more, please check out other videos on this channel. Until next time, take care.